Hi, I'm Donna Winter, Automation Services Librarian from Livonia Civic Center Library, and today we're going to talk about ebooks that you can get through the library for free. If you go to our homepage, livonia.lib.mi.us, and scroll over to the right side of the screen, you'll see downloadable ebooks and music. This takes you to Download Destination. This service is only available for Livonia residents with a valid library card. There are other libraries within the co-op who also participate, but if you're accessing it through Livonia, you need to have a valid card from Livonia. You can sign in and select your library. Then it asks for your library card number. You want to type it in with no spaces. And your PIN. If you don't know what your PIN is, call the library and we will look it up for you. This takes you to your account page. Currently, I don't have anything checked out, so my account page is pretty simple. But at this point, I can search for books, and we have both audio and text-based books. You can download them to your computer, and also you can put them on a device such as a Nook or other e-reader. When you're searching through, you want to look over on the right side of the screen where you can see it says on the first one, place a hold or add to wish list. When it says place a hold, that means the book is checked out, and it does check out just like a regular library book. We purchase a certain number of copies, and if it's checked out by somebody else, it is not available for download at that time. Here's one that's available. It says add to my cart. We can either now proceed to checkout or continue browsing if we want to look for more things. There is a maximum of 6 items that you can have checked out at one time. I'm also going to look for an audiobook for demonstration purposes here. And you can, as well as search through a list by browsing, type in a particular author or other search like title or subject. Now you can see from the list that I've got audiobooks here because it says Overdrive MP3 audiobook. And you can see where it says plays on, it indicates what kind of media you can actually download it to, like an iPod, an MP3. In this case of this first one, you can burn it to a CD or use it on a Mac or a PC. The one underneath it, you can see that you cannot burn it to a CD or use it on an MP3. It is individual to the book, the licensing that they've granted, that indicates of whether it can be used for which products. And I'm going to place this one on hold so you can see how that works. I'm going to type in an email address where I want to be notified. And they want you to confirm the email address just to be sure you typed it correctly the first time. So now when that book comes available, I will be notified via email, and they will hold it for me for a short amount of time. I think it's maybe 2 or 3 days. If I don't pick it up within that time, then it would be go on to the next person who's waiting, if somebody is waiting. The other feature here of add to my wish list, you can use, let's say if you see a book that sounds interesting but you're not ready to check it out right now, either you have your quota of books checked out or for whatever reason you don't want to put it on hold, you can add it to the wish list, and then later on you can access your list and see if there's something that's available that you'd be interested in that is on your list. Let's say I checked something that I really don't want and it's in my cart. I can just click on remove over here and remove it from my cart. Now I have 2 items in my cart. One is an ebook and the other one is an audio. And now I'm ready to check out. You have the option of shortening the lending period to 7 days instead of 14 if you think you're not going to need it for the full checkout period. There is no renewal on these items, but if it's available, if nobody else is waiting for it, you can check it out again. Now I'm ready to download the books, but because this is the first time I'm using this program, I need to get the software that these books run on. First of all, for the audiobook, I need Overdrive Media Console. Now when you go to download the software, just choose from the type of device that you're going to be working with, and then click on Download Now. Just like downloading any other software and installing it, follow the instructions on the screen. Okay, we're ready to run the software. And again, just follow the instructions on the screen, agree to the licensing agreement. And usually you just want to accept the default of where it's installing. Okay, now that is for the audio, and we are ready to download the audiobook. Now often you will see this message on the first time you are downloading an audiobook when it's using Windows Media Player. So just follow the instructions on the screen and it will, after this it'll work and you won't have to do it again. As you can see, I had the Overdrive Media Console already open. I go to Tools and I click on Windows Media Player Security Upgrade. Okay, now we're ready to download this audiobook. You can see with audiobooks you can download part of the collection at a time because they do take several parts, or you can download them all at once. Depending on how fast your internet connection is, you may only want to download a few and then go back and download more later. For demonstration purposes, I'm just going to download one. You can see on the status bar down here, it'll tell you how fast it's going. Now, if you're licensed to download and burn to a CD, you can do that. It will expire after a certain amount of time and you can still only use it for the 14 days that you check it out. If you're downloading to an MP3 player, again, you may want to download parts and then download more later and delete the parts once you're done with them. Okay, so it downloaded it all and automatically closed the media console, so I'm going to jump over to it. We can play right here, and since part 1 is the only thing we have loaded, we can play.
Misery by Stephen King, read by Lindsay Krause. 1. Annie. When you look into the abyss also...
Okay, usually you want to transfer it to a portable device, in which case in the media console you're going to use transfer. and hook up your MP3 player or your iPod or whatever it is you're going to transfer to, and click on transfer here and just follow the instructions it'll take you through. Now this is one that could be burned to a CD, so it also gives me the option to burn. And when you're done with an item, you can delete it, but that is not the same as returning it, just so you're aware of that. Let's go back to our download destination and look at the ebook we have now. Now this takes a different software. It takes Adobe Digital Editions. So we're going to download that. And this you will also need to download to your portable device like your Nook or whatever e-reader you have. And again, just follow the directions on the screen. Okay, so we're all done downloading, and we need to go through the licensing agreement again and agree to that. And then the first time you go to use this, the setup assistant is going to pop up, and what it needs you to do is to authorize the computer to actually use the software. It asks for an Adobe ID. If you don't have one already, which most likely you don't, you can get one from Adobe online. And basically, you're just going to be creating a username and password for yourself. So basically, everything that has a star by it, you need to fill in. Now I'm unchecking these things so I don't get junk mail. You can do that as well. At the very bottom, click on Continue. Now that we have an Adobe ID created for ourselves, we can authorize the computer. Okay, now we're ready to go. Now we can download the book. And the eBooks download a lot faster than the audios, so it won't take long at all. Okay, so it's all downloaded, and then we can read it right here on the screen, or we can transfer it to the digital device of your choice. Now, what I like to do with my portable e-reader is, because it is equipped with Wi-Fi, I can download directly to the e-reader instead of going through my PC. So what you would do then is just access the Overdrive webpage the same way on the PC, but do it on your e-reader, and then you can just download directly to it, and you won't have to go through the transfer. When you're done reading a book, if you want to return the e-books early, you may. With audiobooks, you can't return them early. It's just part of the license. But what you'll do to return a book, you'll click on the arrow that's next to the book cover, and it says on the very bottom here, Return Borrowed Item. You can return it, and it will disappear off your screen. And then it is actually returned for somebody else to use. That is the basics of how to use Download Destination. There is one other way to get to audiobooks that you may find when you're searching in the catalog. If something says electronic resource, it is one of the downloadable books. And when you click on it, it will say, click here to access download destination. You see in the holdings it says Overdrive. That's another clue that it is a downloadable book. And in this case, you can see that it's an audio because it does say audio under the publisher, and you can see the formats are MP3 and WMA. If it was an ebook, it would say EPUB. If you have some questions about how eBooks work, underneath the Download eBooks and Music, there is a frequently asked questions file. And one that is of particular help is the one that says, I'm having trouble downloading to my Nook, can you help me? When you click on this, there is a link to another website where the person who set up the site gives you step-by-step information, especially for the Nook, on how to use it. The other helpful thing is this tour of download destination for eBooks. This was created by the company Overdrive, which is the provider for the eBooks. So you can just go through here step by step. It's an audio and video program that will show you how to do things. And you can see it tells you how long each of the items are, and you can move forward from there. That's all there is to it. Hopefully you enjoy reading these audiobooks and ebooks from Download Destination, and remember, you can even do it while you're on vacation. I'm Donna Winter, and hope you enjoyed this gateway. See you next time.